Hey tea heads, this is Don from Mayleaf. Look what just arrived at the warehouse. A new tong of a new tea. So I thought I would break this tong open and we would sample this tea together, at least virtually for you, but in real life for me, IRL. And hopefully this is going to be a joyous tea session with a new good friend to join my collection of tea. This is a raw pu'er tea. This is from Mengku. Can't stop buying from Mengku. It's just such an amazing area producing the most incredible teas. A combination of elegance, poise, sort of gentleness in its character, but rich in aroma and very, very potent. So everything that I look for in the majority of my raw pu'er experiences. And this is an autumn tea, another autumn tea, because I love autumn teas. I was talking about it with Adrian recently, yeah, autumn teas are just doing it for me right now. So this is an autumn tea. We'll scope it, we'll do the whole thing, obviously. But let's first of all hope the cover is good, hope the cover is good, hope the cover is good. Good printing, good printing, good printing, good printing. Happy with that printing. Oops, giant mess. You didn't see, you didn't hear any of that. Take a look at this cover. Ba-bam! Welcome to the Ruby Land Poet. Ruby Land Poet. Oh, can you see it? Okay, let me hide so that it doesn't try focusing on my face. The zebra or zebra, I say zebra. The zebra poet with his creative, poetic little hat against a backdrop of just ruby jewels of fruits and autumnal colours. As I said, this is an autumn tea, and the flavour notes hopefully carry across, but you can see lots and lots of berries, lots and lots of fruits in the hat of the zebra, as well as in the background, the zebra looking quite intense, as all poets usually are. The Ruby Land Poet. I'm going to put this one to the side. I'm going to break open this one, put this tong over here. Scoping this tea. This is season September 2023, autumn 2023. So a year and a half. Oh, the smell. Can I just say, the smell coming off the tong when I opened it is incredible. Normally I don't talk about aromas until I get into the smell of the warm pot. It's just so rich in these ruby fruits. I'm getting blackcurrants, I'm getting cherries, I'm getting cassis, and just this foresty, like autumnal smell. Super fruity. All right, let's take this cake. Look at that. Developed some age already. So as I said, this is September 2023. This is a blend. This is a blend of, oh dear. My bad. I put the wrong date on here. Damn it. See? Do things in a rush. I've written April 2024 here. That's incorrect. That is incorrect, people. This is September 2023. I'm not going crazy, right? This is an autumn blend. Yeah, September 2023 pickings. So apologies, the cover is wrong, but it'll be all right. It's fine. It'll be one of those valuable errors later when you are a collector, right? So September 2023, Gushu tea trees, 200 to 300 year olds. This is a blend of Bangdong and Najiao in Mengku. Bangdong is very, very famous. Najiao, never heard of it before, never sourced from that village before. But when we sampled these two autumn teas, you know, we do our experiments and the blend was just singing. So we've blended this, a 50-50 mix of Bangdong and Najiao. This is from, as I said, September 2023, budding up to 3 leaves, approximately 1,700 meters. Mengku, raw, Gong Fu PuErh, 200 to 300-year-old tea trees. Excuse the little error on the cover. Oops, I'm a bit clumsy today. The reason is because this just arrived in and I have to go pick up my daughter I don't even have my phone, soon. So I want to have this session before I am late to pick up my daughter. So here we go. Look at this. Beautiful color. Dark, aged combinations of, you've got your silvery, antique silvery, you've got your Auburns, you've got your plums, you've got your mustards, you've got this deep, deep, deep sort of raisin leather brown. It's looking great, but the smell, if I had smell-o-vision, my life would be a lot easier. I could just literally just go, have a sniff, people, and you'd be all, I hope, swooning over your screen. That would be weird. Can you imagine us sniffing our phones? It's taken over our life anyway, right? So why not be an olfactory companion too? Rubyland PuErh, smelling super, super fruity, incredibly fruity. And that cover, I think, is not telling any lies. One quick look at it again, in case it didn't focus last time. Come on now, focus. There you go. Right, let's warm this Terroir clay pot up. Of course, I will be tasting it in porcelain, but in my experience with this pot, it's more about the softening and the thickening. It's not going to change much in terms of the flavor notes. But I will always do that due diligence and make sure. So here we go. Let's stick our nose into the leaves of Rubyland PuErh. I like that name. I agonize over names. Spend ages and ages, longer than you would imagine. I mean, I probably take about 3-4 weeks of every night thinking to come up with names for these teas, and they get harder as I start to run out of words that I haven't used. But Rubyland PuErh, I just think I like that name. Just sometimes names just work and they don't need an explanation, but it just sounds quite filmic, I think. Rubyland PuErh. Here we go. Wake up, brain. Let's do this. Fruit Central. It made my voice go all funny. Fruit Central. Unbelievably fruity. I cannot recall a tea, a raw PuErh tea that has just this much fruit dialed up to the max. And it is exactly the cover. It is blackcurrant, like blackcurrant cream candies or blackcurrant mousse. I'm in love with this smell. Some dried cherries, but it's the blackcurrant. I love the smell of blackcurrant. It's one of those smells. If I see a scented candle that has a blackcurrant smell, I'm grabbing it because I just love the smell of blackcurrant. So it's got blackcurrant mousse. It's got dried cherries. It's got. I would just throw under fruit leathers. You know, those dried, usually sort of this sort of color. Leather, dried rolls, leather, fruit rolls, fruit leathers, cherries, maybe some strawberry as well. I think cherries and blackcurrant covers it. There's also a very bright note, a very acidic bright note coming through that is reminiscent of Mai Tais. But I guess I'm just smelling lime juice. A touch of pineapple juice as well. Like very acidic, acidified pineapple juice, or let's just call it lime juice, like a Mai Tai. It's very cocktail-like. It's fruity and bright, but deep with those, you know, how blackcurrant is very bright, it's very, you know, awakening, but it also has a slightly earthy tinge to it, a little earthy character to it as well. I'm picking up some warm notes. I'm picking dark baked Tweel biscuits, a bit of toffee. Oh, it is the most mesmerizingly fruity smell. Yeah, so Tweel biscuits, dark baked, toffee, lime juice, blackcurrant mousse, blackcurrant fruit candies, like chewy fruit candies, and fruit leathers. Oh, okay. Lord knows what it's going to be like once it's rinsed. Froggy, it's been a while. Okay, here we go. Ooh. Ooh, the deeper notes are coming front. I really can't speak today. The deeper notes are expressing themselves early in the smell. Yeah, like fruit leathers, but spices as well. I'm getting like fenugreek. I'm getting like a salted custard. I'm thinking of like salted duck yolks, salted duck yolks, but made into a custard, if that makes any sense to anybody out there. I'm still getting those blackcurrant mousses, blackcurrant candies. I'm getting a little cherry cough syrup note. So it's a little bit more adult, a little bit more spiced. Fenugreek is in there. Fenugreek? Do you say fenugreek or fenugreek? I'm not quite sure. But yeah, these cough sweets, cherries. But again, tons of fruit, loads of fruit. Punnets and punnets of black currants, blackberries, cherries, a touch of that pineapple, but a little bit overripe pineapple. Oh, immense. You can see the sort of cover, you know, fruits that we added there. So autumnal, with the autumnal leaves as well. And that is there. There is a touch of that. There's also like molasses in there as well. But the lime juice, that pineapple juice is still there. It's still very, very, very fruit forward. A touch of creaminess. I said about salted yolk custard. I would also put it under frangipane, but a lighter frangipane. If you've had an almond croissant that has just a bit more of a lighter quality, it's not so like buttery, it's more just quite raw in its more like raw almonds and less sort of cooked down and less buttery and less caramelized. But there's also molasses in there as well. Yeah, I don't know much about Najau village. I know a lot about Bandung. A lot of people out there who love PuErh know Bandung, very famed village. But Najau is a new one to me. Has anybody out there tried a Najau tea before? Let me know in the comments. I would be interested to find out. All right, let's check out the color by sort of working it out against that green of the cup. Let's call it like an apricot gold. Cheers, everybody. Rubyland PuErh. Texture. Okay, as I said, I'm going to test it against porcelain, but this is thick. It's thick, it's syrupy, it's oily. But then it transforms texturally in the mouth to a very expansive minerality. It sort of feels like it grows in the mouth with a sort of rockiness and minerality. But the beginning and the main event is thick, syrupy, oily. The taste is divine and has that autumnal character. What do I mean by that? I've spoken about it in other videos, but quick recap. Autumnal pu'ers, I think, have a very aroma-forward character. Very much, you're getting a real bouquet of aromatics. And they tend to have a gentleness about them, a purity about them. You tend to pick up notes that are more reminiscent of like winter air and freshness of air. They are less aggressive stroke impactful, depending upon pros and cons, right? On the mouthfeel, you know, spring teas tend to be very mouthfeel focused and very potent and very impactful. Spring verve and that oomph, and you're tasting the plant more. Whereas the autumn teas tend to be a little bit more about the air around it and less of that mouthfeel strength. But that's not to say that it's not alluring, because it comes with a softer, more easy drinking mouthfeel. So it depends on what kind of mood you're feeling in. But autumnal teas just really are doing it for me at the moment, because they just have a real easy drinking quality to them, but being very aroma forward. All right, the taste of this tea with a very short infusion. I'm getting toffees, nougat, a little bit of baked banana, moving into those roasted pineapples, and then moving into those fruity notes like cassis. Yeah, blackcurrant mousse. Is it fool, a blackcurrant fool? So creamier, but still fruity. Wow. Fresh apricots as well. Definitely some fresh apricots there. That salted custard, salted egg yolk custard is definitely there. Imagine like a warm custard, but with the addition of salt. So a salted, it's still sweet, but a salty sweet custard. That's what I'm sort of, what I mean. It's interesting because it's so delicious with that, the custards and the baked bananas, creamy, and the toffees and the caramels, that's all there. But then you get this layer on top of fresh apricots, pineapple, blackcurrant mousse, cherry, cough sweets, cassis. And it leaves you with, still haven't worked out how to use this kettle. It leaves you, the problem is there's just one button on it, so I always have to cycle, what am I doing? It's a cool design, but you know, one button confuses me. It leaves you with this amazing fresh air quality. And that's not to say it doesn't have flavor. The flavor is really fresh apricot. Not dried, not in syrup, fresh apricot. So You know how fresh apricot has a very distinctive taste, but it's also very gentle. So that's what I mean. Having said that, my stomach is already starting to do somersaults. And this is the thing about autumn teas. They're deceptive because they have this sort of gentle character in the mouth. But don't let that fool you, because they can come and grab you in terms of body sensation. But it's that real freshness in the mouth that I associate with autumn teas. Second infusion. Oh, the smell is shifting. More of the deeper notes are coming through. But I think that's also with the humid air. It always tends to be the case. If you let it cool down, it'll start to brighten up. And I've done a video all about how you should use thyme in your tasting. But it is so rich in this molasses and baked bananas. So warm, so comforting. We'll smell it again in a minute, and I bet that it'll change quite dramatically. Second infusion. We might as well use our little counter here since we've got a little frog hopping across. Cheers, everybody. Texture is thick, oily, and then, yeah, like I said, you get this mineral expansiveness. And the finish on the tongue is got some dryness, not like a spring tea, not as intense a mouthfeel as spring tea. Got some dryness to that cooling apricot juiciness. A little bit of strawberry candy, like intense strawberry chews. Almost like a fake strawberry taste, like fake strawberry chews, you know, intense, cooked down. It is the most fruity and joyful tea, raw pu'er. A great pu'er for everybody. But for those who want a more like, you want to attenuate some of those like heavy, like notes of a pu'er and have loads of fruits and loads of creams, this one is for you. And that is a pretty universal statement. Who doesn't want that? Sometimes, of course, sometimes you want that punch. But a lot of times you just want a little bit more of a caress. Oh. Any other tasting notes? None coming to me now. I think I've covered a lot of them. I don't know how many I've talked about, but this is a very focused tea. Creams, and then those fruits. Toffees, creams, toffees, baked bananas, roasted pineapple, and then we move into the blackcurrants, blackberries, and cherries. Beautiful. Let's smell the empty Gong Da Bei. Oh, I want to smell this first. Yep, brightened up. Green banana. Bit of melon. I am getting some autumnal leaves, sort of wet autumnal leaves in there as well. Getting that lime juice. Touch of floweriness, but it's in the distance. Waxy little flower. Put it under orchid. Light in the distance, but it's there. All right, smell of the empty Gong Da Bei. Oh, baked banana. Baked banana, sea rocks. Rocks by a beach. I'm just seeing like, yeah, baking bananas by the sea next to sort of rocks that have that baked in saline smell to them. from the seawater. Not fishy, not marine, salty. Salted custards, salted rocks, salted skin. If you've sort of, you've been out, you've got a bit of sweat and you lick your lips and you get that salty, it's got a salty quality to it, which all helps to accentuate enhances the flavor of all of those fruits and all of those creams and all the sweet notes. Okay, going to go away. I'm going to brew a few more infusions, although I can already feel my stomach going, and I'll be back to tell you about the body sensation. 6 infusions down, and this tea is winning on all levels. It is the epitome of autumn teas for me. It's, so aroma forward. It's so rich in the mouth. It's so, thick and syrupy. And yet it has a gentle mouthfeel, and it has this beautiful, easy sipping, gentle quality in its finish. And the body sensation continues that theme. The body sensation on this is warming. It's not aggressive. It's gentle. I feel like I just want to sort of walk out in the springtime, sort of kicking the air. It's sort of like this jolly, happy, easy energy, which just sort of, perks you up, puts a smile on your face. It's not going to send you, I don't think, into the stratosphere with like, whoa, crazy tea drunk, but it is, a beautiful, lifted feeling that you'll just sort of like, put a bounce in your step, put a smile on your face, and just give you a sense of renewed freshness. Like it's like that first sort of spring day feeling, when you walk out and you're like, whoa, spring has sprung. And you're walking down the streets and it's like the world feels different because it's a bit sunnier and a bit happier, or a lot happier in the case of London. And everyone has just got that extra spring in their step. Interesting, because it's an autumn tea, that comparison might seem a bit weird, but it definitely has that. It's the gentleness of it. It's the fact that it's not like, supercharging you. It's just like giving you that extra bounce. Like you bought some new trainers and so, oh, I didn't realize that my old trainers weren't as bouncy as these ones, Gosh, I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Rubyland PuErh, flavor-wise, consistent. More of those apricots are coming through. But so fruity and so delicious. It's like a fruit fool. You take the apricots, you take the blackcurrants, you take the cherries, and you just make it into this creamy mousse with a bit of salt in it, and it's just a delight. It's like this is going to be a universal PuErh. Like what I mean by that is I just cannot imagine that anybody wouldn't enjoy this PuErh. It's a star. It's a winner. And I think that from my recollection, the Bang Dong was a bit more like pushy, but had these really beautiful fruity notes, but was a bit more pushy. And the Na Jiao was a bit more gentle and rounded and creamy. And that's why I think this combination really, really works. The fruits with the creams and the custards, but there is also this really distinct salted rock note to it, rocky note. There's also a bit of sherbet as well. There's sort of mineral, fizzy, cooling, salty rockiness to it as well. In the background, I'm going to have one more infusion of this, and then I have to go pick up my daughter. She's going to see her dad picking up with a big smile on his face. Hello! We're like, whoa, what's up with you, pup? Pup? Yeah, I think I am feeling a little bit drunk, but anyway, in a really, really good way. Yeah. Early summer or the first days of spring. Amazing. Rubyland PuErh. Apologies again for the slight error on the packaging. If you pick it up, make sure you ignore that. This is an autumn 2023, so it's had well over a year under its belt. It's just going to be, I think, a favorite. It's already being earmarked in my head as That is going to be one of the teas to consider at the end of the year for my tea of the year. I love it. Rubyland Poet, available right now. That's it, tea heads. Check out our other videos, taste our teas wherever you are in the world by browsing mayleaf.com and come visit us if you're ever in London. Other than that, I'm Don from Mayleaf. Thank you for being part of the revelation of true tea. Stay away from those tea bags. Keep drinking the poetic stuff and spread the word, because nobody deserves bad tea. Bye.